What's up, guys? It's Corey and we're back with some more Bloodborne. This time is, again, another post commentary. For whatever reason, I just didn't have commentary over this one. This is the second part of me doing this Chalice dungeon. And really just getting my butt kicked. It is not easy. At least not at this point in the game. They don't scale particularly well. It seems like, well, I guess they don't scale at all. Obviously, like, the way I understand it now, the deeper the depth of the dungeon, the harder it is. Which makes a fair amount of sense. This is depth 1, I would imagine. So it's the easiest. And at this point in the game, that's still pretty difficult. In my actual playthrough, I've gotten up to depth 3, and I'm having troubles there. So these are it scales up relatively quickly. Like 1 and 2 are nothing, and then 3, most of the enemies are fine. But I've run into a boss that I just can't kill. So that's going really well for me. Man, those bad guys hit so hard, holy shit. I really like that jump attack. It is really good. Another problem I have with these Chalice dungeons is that most of the rewards are not great. I've gotten some armor. I've gotten 1 or 2 uncanny weapons. I think I got the threaded cane. And that actually might be it. I'm not sure. I might have gotten a pistol as well, but I forget. But like I don't really care that much. Maybe once I get to like the end of the game, I'll have better gems, but for the time being, gems just don't make as big of a difference as I would like. At least not the ones that I found. Maybe I'm just getting unlucky with gems, I don't know. Obviously I had to check and make sure there was nothing behind that wall, behind that red cloth. At this point, this is the first one that I've done, so I am still trying to figure out the map generation, basically. So yeah, like, I don't know, it's like, these just, they seem kind of underwhelming, and I want to do them because I want to get the beast claws. Specifically, and I would like to try and get the platinum in this game at some point. I've never platinum a Souls game, and I'm not really sure why. But I would like to do that at some point, because I really like these games. And there's a pretty good chance I'll go back and try to do it with the other ones in the series as well. I just haven't. I've got so many other games to play, I just haven't given them the time that they need. Because they're pretty long. At least if you want to platinum them, just beating the game is not that much time. Most of the time. Except for Dark Souls 2. That one's really long. I learned pretty quickly to take those things out, because those things, as far as I'm aware, always shoot darts. I think they're darts, or arrows, or something, I don't know. But they always shoot a projectile. So most of this is just me like sitting around, like wandering around, trying to explore, make sure I'm not missing anything, because I don't know really what to expect at this point. Um, so I'm like checking all the walls, making sure that I'm not missing any doors or any like hidden little areas with like hidden items in them. Because I really have no idea what to expect in the Chalice dungeon, so I'm being as thorough as possible. Um, but like later on, I've realized that that's not really necessary. But obviously, I haven't reached that point yet. This is still the first one. Um, I wish these were better. I really do. Because it's such a cool concept. It's like basically infinite content for a Souls game in a game where I really like the combat. Um, I do wish there was more variety in terms of character builds, and I wish there was more variety in like armor and weapon types. Weapons aren't as bad because they all transform, but armor kind of sucks. Like all of it kind of sucks. And I wish there was something like some other armor, something to flesh that system out a little better. It's unfortunate that it's in the state that it's in. I really liked how it worked in previous Souls games. It could be kind of cumbersome dealing with encumbrance and things like that. But it gave you a lot of variety, and it was really nice. So here we meet the third boss in this Chalice dungeon, the Watchdog of the Old Lords. This thing sucks. It's very impressive looking, at the very least. Also, it hits pretty hard. It's a giant lava dog. I don't know. I had seen a couple of screenshots of this before the game came out. I'm trying to poison it. Spoiler, that doesn't work. It might work eventually, but I never got it to. It's either really resistant or just immune entirely, and I've got no idea which it is. Most of its attacks are pretty easy to figure out. But it just, like, when it does hit you, it hits really hard. And also just, like, because of the way the lock-on works, and like, just its shape and its size, it can be kind of hard to hit when you're locked on. I think when I eventually did beat it, I had to turn off my lock-on so that I could have a little bit more freedom of movement, which is unfortunate, because like I don't remember feeling like that was an issue in Dark Souls 2. I think it was in Dark Souls 1. But this, in some ways, definitely seems like a step back in some ways from Dark Souls 2. Overall, I think it's a better game. But there are some things that they improved in Dark Souls 2 that I think they should have kept. Or just learned from and improved for this game. I don't really know. That rifle is just doing nothing. The one thing that, my complaints about this game are fairly minor. I like the feel of the combat. Some of the variety in like armor and weapons is a little lacking, but it's not too bad. The magic is basically non-existent, and that's kind of a problem. And the guns almost universally suck. Like I have found very little reason to use a gun in like 80% of the game. I mean, it's useful for parries. It's almost useless for damage. But I don't feel like I need parries all that often. The last time that I needed a parry was fighting Logarius, which obviously takes place well after this video was recorded, or this, yeah, the video was recorded. I've already done it as a recording of this audio. But man, like, guns are just, they suck. They really suck. And that's unfortunate because they're such a big part of this game. And maybe I just need to, like, maybe I need to make another character at some point and try to focus on that. But I don't know if that's a good thing, if that's a positive. Like, it might just be that the way that I've built this character, it's not built for guns, it's not built for magic, and yeah, but like I built my character based on what I knew and what worked based on the gear that I got. I saw the sword, I understood what it scaled from, I leveled those things up. That was pretty easy. I saw how pathetic the guns were and decided not to focus on leveling up Blood Tinge. I do have a couple of what I assume are magic items, and I might try leveling up my Arcane to use them, but I don't know if they're really all that useful, if it's even really worth the time, but I want to try it anyways, just to see if they have some kind of benefit. Because I would like there to be more options. I would definitely like there to be like some substantial DLC for this game. Maybe something like Artorias of the Abyss, or some of the DLC from Dark Souls 2. But I don't know. I just feel like this game is just lacking in a number of ways, which is unfortunate. Because it's got so much else going for it. That explosion radius is fucking ridiculous, by the way. Holy shit. I'm still kind of trying to poison it, and just not knowing when to attack, when to back off. And there we go. That's death number 1. Alright, and we're back. This time we're gonna try out the bolt paper. I figure better to try that than the fire paper, because I'm assuming it's, if not immune, at least highly resistant to fire, you know, being made of lava and all that. So bolt paper seemed like the better choice, and I just felt like I needed something to up my damage. Because that last fight, like, I ended up getting it down pretty far, but it just took way too long, and I was running, like, I used a ton of my blood vials, and it was just dragging on too long. So I'm trying to speed up the fight. Which was also what the poison knives were supposed to do, and that fails miserably. So don't do that. And I'm pretty sure I used the bolt paper there by accident, because I was trying to poison it, and I think it just automatically switched to it after I ran out of poison knives. I don't actually know how resistant this thing is to lightning. I never checked. I assume it's not as resistant to lightning as it is fire, though. Just based on what it is. So whenever it bends down like that, you don't want to be near it. For whatever reason, I haven't figured that out yet. So, don't be like me. that fire is like it's actually surprisingly, it's like deceptively easy to sidestep that fire. It looks like it's got a very wide hitbox, but you can actually just sidestep it just a little bit, and it appears that you're still in it, but you don't get hit. So I'm not sure what's up with that. That seems like that's not ideal. Like that time I didn't even dodge, I just ran to the side, and I avoided it entirely. If you do enough damage to its head, or maybe like its neck or something, it will drop down like that. And I don't think when it does that, when its head hits the ground, I don't think it'll do anything. But if you make one of its legs buckle, it'll do a thing where it like stomps the ground and just creates like this big explosion. Not like that super big one that I did towards the end of the first fight. But it's enough to knock you back and do a substantial amount of damage. And there we go. Much worse second time around. Well, alright guys, I guess that's gonna do it. I ran out of time for this video, so I only had the time to do 2 attempts on this boss. So I will be back with a more substantial episode as soon as possible. So until then, take care guys.